よーし、おはようございます、皆さん。これはね、久しぶりだな。おいおいおい。人が来るもの中には何事かする気であることからな。Okay, basically someone got a little too close to me. It's like, bro, like what? Like, bro, hello. A classic Starbucks drive-through. Hello. All right, so weekend review thoughts. Basically, we're April 28th, so basically April review. A third of the year, Dunzo. Quarter two, first month, Dunzo. And I was thinking, what did I want to share with you today? Well, great thought for you is I have a friend who's going. I'll put it like this. It's very frustrating when it seems you care more about your friend than they care about themselves, essentially. That despite overwhelming opinions of everyone, be like, hey, this girl, character, weak, no bueno, get out of here. Baba Bibi, goodbye. Hasta la pasta. And then, everyone's like, all right, well, cheating may have been involved. Maybe it's time to move on. Should I name this? So yeah, that's been on my mind. Definitely been supporting my friend. It's very interesting how we can have a lot of care and love for someone, and if they're not having that opinion of themselves, then, well, nothing you can do. And this takes me back to one of my favorite quotes this year, the Let Them Theory by Auntie Mel Robbins, our friend. As she likes to call herself, she's a pretty good friend. She does the stuff. So, and then last night I was reading the actual book Boccherini, and there's a Let Them and also Let Me. And the part I was at in the book yesterday, there's a really good analogy for that, and this kind of goes with my friend's experience involving my friend, that by saying let them, you are right on the seesaw of energy of that, hey, right, you're letting go of all the self-doubt, all these negative things, and then you can put yourself into a state of superiority, because, right, you're just like, okay, I'm living myself. But then the second part, equally as important as the let me, is that then after you've let the other person be themselves, you have to then give yourself the space to be like, hey, cool, the person has shown me people be driving actually crazy. I can't understand it, honestly. Actually, I do understand. People are just selfish. And that's America for you. Right? The whole corporate hustle and bustle. Most curiously, involved with work, my friend's anxiety, who's the manager, definitely seems to be a primary motivator. That or OCD, I think they're probably the same thing. A very similar base, that we have a 48-hour turnaround time for our orders. Yet we are creating a pattern or it's habit loop of oh no, we have to get this done really quick. And it's well, actually, maybe no. I don't know, just sort of recent observation, because we had that conversation the other day about how quick, and then setting expectation rate for the sales guys. Because, like, right, this is like a classic, right? You want to underpromise, like, classic underpromise overdeliver, right? It's like, right, standard is 48 hours. We are tending to do that in 24 hours because, right, if we, aside of the weekend, right, if we take, at the end of the, we do all of our, let's say Tuesday, we're taking all the orders that we didn't get to on Monday, which means basically, right, 24 hours from end of day on Monday, those are going to be shipped 20, like, by Tuesday, unless there was some nonsense going on. Just interesting. And then my friend's like, production. I was here. It's like, bro, like, and I'm like, well, this ain't like, right? It's a similar like concept I applied at Starbucks. It's just coffee at the end of the day. These are just vape products that addicts are basically like legally like fueling their addiction. The same with coffee, right? You're caffeine addicted instead of nicotine addicted. Funny how I'm like trading one chemical for another legal chemical. Oh no, Club, who are you? But there, that was another thought. So, how are you treating and showing up for your friends and for yourself? Two very different things. That's the hashtag go to therapy. Yes, I know, I have been to therapy. I have a link for an online one. It's like $30 to $70 for a session. I just have to like bite the bullet and be like, all right, 6 p.m. this day. Trying to like get back on the good schedule. So I got up at 6 today. Very good. The plan is to go to bed at 10, which means I have to go to the gym. Current situation at 8. Unwinding started at 9. Ready for bed for 10. Get up at the 6. This is not the 9 hours that Auntie Mel recommends. It's a work in progress. Yeah, Auntie Mel gave us one podcast where you want to do. I mean, Mind Pump said this too. You want 8 hours, but still you need like the 9 hour time period. I do have a family event coming up, first one in a while, so it'll be fun to kind of see how currently meshes with them. Say 70th birthday for my dad's cousin, and then I'll be doing Philly the next day, so that'll be kind of cool, like a forced little adventure. I haven't really done the sightseeing. Sightseeing is definitely should be good. And then yeah, because I've only gone to Philly for conventions, like working for the cards, and not much time to explore. So that's pretty good, as the kids say. And then, as the kids say, what else? This past week I was pretty lazy, which is good. Sometimes I think you need those weekends where you don't do anything. I watched Upload. Very, very interesting show. Okay, so first great part. Stephen Amell. You know him from Arrow. I think wrestling too. And pretty good looking guy. He's obviously in great shape. He has a brother. I think they're Canadian too. Sort of fun fact. And yeah, it's a show where after you die, your memory gets uploaded. And oh wow. Like Black Mirror, I've also started watching, which is also like tangentially, but a little more serious sci-fi. So the Upload is kind of like comedy, slightly serious. There's like a plot. The main character is he dies, and then sort of like kind of investigate like what caused that. And then as the series progresses, so I binged basically the rest of the second season and then the third season. So basically, classic idea, like the rich people have access to the best stuff, where you can basically right, live forever, right? You after you die, like your consciousness is uploaded there, and you live in this like resort. So that's interesting. And then in the series, then there's like the other idea of, so that's called like a download. Then there's like I'm sorry, upload. You upload when you upload your consciousness. Then there's the reverse idea of download, which the scientists are working on to like create a body, obviously, so the rich can like create bodies and come back every few decades or so. Interesting that in the, I think it was this last season, that one of the characters is like able to upload his mind like a robot and like go around, which is kind of interesting. Are we close to this? Far from this? Hard to say, but definitely it's an idea. Just to think that your conscious could live out there, but then it's like, right, you're kind of taking away from your life experience and like the preciousness of life, and really just cherishing the moments that you have every day with like whoever you get to see. Oh. I do like a nice sci-fi. It's a little more, it's serious but not super serious. So like Black Mirror is very like more serious, but then it's also like the onesies. So you're just kind of like, you jump into the story and okay, bro. Like, okay, this is one of the most confusing behaviors I see. Like, I am clearly signaling it, and then someone's gonna be like, "Actually, I'm behind you, but I'm gonna merge this lane first." And it's like, and I'm gonna go fast, like try and pass you. I don't get it, but selfishness. Like, there's the answer. So, next to this. Yeah, good show. I definitely recommend it. It's on the Amazon Prime. There's, I think, like 8-ish episodes in each season. So I'd started the second season like a long time ago. And then I just finished it yesterday. Well, Saturday into Sunday. I know. Classic Step Super Late for Binge Shearers. Black Mirror got an episode last week where also similarly interesting idea that you have like this device which you implant, and then you could basically like review anything in your life with this device. So like you do like a redo and you're like, oh, what happened? Or like for example, like the guy had an interview in the like first scene, and then afterwards like, oh, we should take a look, and they're like, no, it's gonna be embarrassing. But a lot of what the characters end up doing is he's like going through the scenes in his head and looking at every little detail, sort of, obviously you're like, well, we already have this tendency to like overanalyze and overthink. Now imagine like that multiplied by like, let me actually just like go back and like look again for like every detail. Like, well, how did they say that? Similarly, it does detract from that, but that idea detracts from the like living in the moment, being like, all right, well, how is the situation unfolding? What is this person doing? And then back to Auntie Mel, what can I do? So basically, in this episode, spoilers, the guy thinks his girl is cheating on him or has cheated, or that kind of thing, with this guy who's at the party that he ends up making the party because he was got like a fight home earlier, so whatever. And then he goes from there, and then he kind of like is, I don't know, it's not doom scrolling, but I guess like doom like redoing, like, well, it's like, well, I don't know, and then it just he ends up at the end, kind of classic in like a Twilight Zone fashion. It sort of just ends with him like taking the device out of his skull brain. It's like behind the ear, which very interesting in its own way. It's a very interesting sort of thing. And then that idea was like planted earlier in the episode because they had a friend who had talked about removing her implant. It's like, wow, it's way better. So yeah, there's these like sci-fi ideas have always been like a fun little thing for me. So yes, weekend thoughts we are sharing with you, Destiny. Pokemon was pretty okay this last weekend. There was like a community day and then like an Entei Dynamax. I mean, the Dynamaxes are like sort of a scam, and it's not like really a scam, but like basically you have to like catch these additional Pokemon that are used for these raids, and they use these Dynamax things in these raids, and you're like, more guys. But they did reward good Stardust, Rare Candy XLs, and ran into my friends who also know this mutual friend who's going through this relationship thing. We're all just kind of like, what is even going on here? So sometimes you get a more objective point of view from people that you know versus yourself. I find this was recording the whole time. It's like, ha! Nothing for you today, Mr. Clavalini. I know, Clavalini Panini. I definitely have recorded more of these than I've uploaded, so that's fun. I know my Razman, that's one of the brands. We'll also see like how the tariffs. I don't think this will end up affecting it too much. I mean, I'm not going to be in this industry for like crazy long anyway, but really curious. Oh, and the Pope, that was I watched it with my mom. We were watching sort of the whole funeral thing. It was kind of cool. Very inspiring in a way, because he was a Pope of the people. Which I think, right, ultimately is the way the religious leaders should be, or I guess any leader should really be striving to do best by their people rather than pushing agendas, as we know some leaders to do in the recent times. So it was cool because like this guy was really he was buried very plainly in a coffin, with a very plain wood coffin. So that was cool. And like even hearing some of the things he was saying, he was very just down to earth, very like, okay, cool. Yeah. So that was fun. It was my mom kind of like sped up through parts of it. It was very interesting too that they had so there's they had a moment of silence, and just to imagine they had this plaza in Rome or Vatican or Rome Vatican. I think it's almost the same. And it was quiet. Like, and they said there was like 250,000 people. That's pretty cool. Like imagining like everyone in the audience quiet, and then you think, oh, there you go. Well, we're here. Hasta la pasta, hasta la casta. But yeah, there you have it. Weekend thoughts for April 26th.